Hey, happy Venus Day. How was your November? I'm so happy to be here with you. Like, let me do a bit of admin real quick. Alrighty, let's get into cleansing these cards. I'm gonna pull some cards today for sure. Make sure you hit the like button when you are coming in. I feel a bit nervous, like I haven't been here before. I've just been away a bit, minute. November. November said, See the title of the video? Pinch punch, but are you dead though? Did you die? Did you die? Because the brutality of 2023, and it seems to be not letting up as we're going towards the end of this year. It just seems to be it's keeping its momentum. Your job, hello Valentina, your job is to stay grateful that you're not dead, that you're still in your right mind, that you still have your breath. Do you see me? My J's. So good to see you too, my angel. So good. Honestly, my G's. Listen, I wanted to come. The first 11/11 organic blackberry girl. Listen, the first 11/11 portal, I have not been visible for none of them. I even wanted to come on Thursday. Was that Thursday was the last portal? Yesterday was Thursday, no, Wednesday. I even wanted to come then, but I was not supported. So I'm not trying to fight against it. And this is the point of, I think this year, I think we have been really asked to flow through this year without resistance, to really see, hey, magic melanin mama, girl. And yeah, I just feel like we've really been asked to play the hangman game, to really see if we can actually surrender when asked. And you know, in the prayer where it says, your will be done in you as it is within me, like surrendering your will over. You have free will. We have this free will, but sometimes, a lot of the time, when we choose, we don't, hey Q, we don't necessarily come out with the best outcome. I lie. So I feel like 2023, this 7 year, the point was, let spirit guide us. Let us move as one, as a collective, and let's see if that outcome is better than the one that we get when we choose to live or to be individuals and do whatever the fuck we want. Do you get? Now, obviously there's a lot going on the world stage. And to be honest with you, I'm going to stick with what I said on, it wasn't on Halloween. Hey, Kings Inquire, there of he. I'm going to stick with what I said at the video just before Valentine's Day, when I said our prayers are going to be the loudest thing that we can do right now, is pray for this collective peace. But there's no way we can authentically be praying for authentic peace when we have not achieved that peace in our own worlds. So, like, one of the loudest themes of this year has been the mother wound. for both the masculine and feminine, for the collective as a whole, has been the mother wound. And it has been really, really, really imperative to do the right thing for all involved. And so there's been a lot of heartbreak. There's been a lot of sadness when it comes to choosing yourself within this dynamic of the mother wound. And this is not just about your physical portal mother. This is Mama Universe, Mama of antiquity. Is that the right word? Because I'll be using big words and sometimes get it wrong, but you know what I mean, innit? Antiquity, you know what I'm saying, innit? Like, this is our relationship with Big Mama, and whether or not we have forgiven Big Mama for allowing us this free will that has got us into a lot of wahala, innit? I don't even know where this is coming from, because I literally came here to talk to you about, it's just that the last, hey Letty the Gypsy, happy December to you too, Angel. So good. Oh, thank you, Samurai Honeymoon. I've missed you guys so much, but like I said, I've been trying to go with the flow. I've been trying to do what I've been asked to do as opposed to what I want to do, and it's been difficult. It's been difficult on so many levels. So as I was talking about this mother wound, right? So many of us have been in a space where we have tried so hard to mend that wound. And coming from both ends of the scale, as the mother and as the daughter, I know that this has been a theme that has had me, quite frankly, fucked up. I'm just going to let you know. Quite frankly, fucked up. Being able to surrender to the needs of my daughter and listen to her voice and take accountability, and to not only apologize but to also change my behavior when it comes to how I interact with her and all of my children, really, because I gave birth to one. It's just like, that same thing, you come as one but you stand as 10,000. I gave birth to one child. I have many children, yo. So it is about taking accountability for my part, changing my behavior, changing the way that I maneuver and the way that I relate and communicate. But also, as the daughter, being able to accept that I may not get that same treatment, not only from my portal mother, but also from the mothers. You know me already. I have many mothers, but we also have a common mother. Our common mother, and sometimes our common mother will not always give us what we want. The universe will not always give us what we want. And one thing that I've seen throughout this 7 year is that even though I might want something, I generally, hey Miss Fallon, my gorgeous sister, I generally find that, can you guys hit the like button when you come in, my babes? I generally find that one of my common prayers for myself is protection. I pray for protection. I pray that nothing will be able to come around me. My second prayer is discernment. So when I find myself wanting certain experiences, people in my life, and etc., and then I pray for protection, and certain things are removed or distanced from me, I have to then be grateful and say thank you, because that's what I prayed for. And it might not look the way we want it to look, and it might not feel the way we want it to feel, but ultimately We are always given what we ask for. So if you've asked for protection, you've asked for discernment. Thank you, my darlings. If you've asked for these things and certain people, including family members, close friends, etc., have been distanced or removed from you, you have to accept that as part of your prayer being answered. My days. Weird. I can't put the mug in front of me because there's just too much stuff there. There's too much stuff. So boom. This year, the brutality of this year has prepared us. It's been some type of initiation, some preparation business. It has to be, because we can't commonly have probably gone through the hardest year of our lives as a collective. And when I say purging all of the last dregs of what needs to be purged has been excruciating is somewhat an understatement. And so I want, first of all, the collective to feel extremely proud of yourself for have endured and stood up and still found a way to shine through this very, very, very difficult year. It was never going to be easy, but it was always going to be for your highest, greatest good. Another thing that is very important as we are in the final month of this 2023, this 7 year, is to really, really now disciplinedly, is that word? To really focus on your thoughts, things that you say out loud, the things that you feel really and truly. Test after test after test after test after test has come to really now test you on who you are. What's your essence? What is your essence? I'll be honest, for the month of November, I don't think I've been that pessimistic in a while, to the point where I was just like, this doesn't even feel comfortable to be this pessimistic all the time. Every conversation I was having, the level of pessimism that was in there was like, it was so ugly. But it was a purge. It was a purge. And not only was I purging with my thoughts and the things that I was saying, I was purging physically, like fevers and mucus and loss of appetite and headaches, and all of these things was happening during this time where I was being asked to truly watch my thoughts. Shifting from 3D to 5D, spirit is mental halls of Amenti. Girl, yes, magic melanin mama. Halls of Amenti, yes, girl. So it was like, it really was like running through some kind of warped reality, because it was like knowing, you have the knowledge that your thoughts become things, and even more so when you are in motion, when the emotions get into it, it's really it's a wrap. But then not being able to almost control what you're thinking, what you're saying. It was a mess. It was a mess. Honestly, I couldn't find my way out for a minute. Literally, I feel like the last couple of days it's just been like, okay. I really am. I was laughing like for no reason. I found myself making my bed and just laughing out loud for no reason, and I was like, okay, this is the energy. This is what I'm talking about. And then just a sequence of events that just validated and clarified that for me, that energy for me. Like yesterday, I went out for a beautiful meal with my baby girl, and then we're going to talk about it. We watched the Hunger Games. And then after that, I was walking to the bus stop. It was about 11 o'clock at night. I was walking to the bus stop, normally in a space that is normally quite sketchy. I was in Peckham, and them time of night there, unless you're a native, you ain't really got no business being there. But something was different. There was a different energy about it. And no sooner I didn't get to the bus stop, I bumped into one of my sisters. I haven't seen her for a minute. Hey, Heather! I haven't seen her for a minute. And I know that the year has been really difficult for her. Like, more difficult than she's ever experienced before. And I hugged her to comfort her. But when I clocked it, my head was in her bosom. And I felt cradled and comforted also. It was almost like every time I tried to, because she's a bit taller than me still, so every time I tried to switch it to make her feel comforted, it was me that was being rocked and comforted and nurtured. It was the strangest thing. And then before I knew it, I was face to face with a group or a couple of musicians that I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but so I did something different that I don't normally do. Normally I'm such a fangirl, I'll be like, oh, can I take a picture with you, so that I can show you lot who I've seen and who I've been with, but not a negoso. In fact, I was a little bit reserved. I was just kind of like, hi, it's nice to meet you, whatever. They were both like, bring it in. And I was like, oh, this is so exciting. This is so different. In that moment, I realised that I felt just as worthy as them to be here. I felt just as worthy as them to be loved and adored and all of the things that I would normally fangirl out for. They were fanning out for me and they don't know me from nowhere. They just met me. And they were so excited to meet me. I was like, this is very, very strange. But yet, I feel like I belong here. I belong in this space where I'm no more in awe of you than you are of me. I'm not gassed by you. And I don't expect you to be gassed by me, but that mutual respect, that mutual love, that mutual, do you get? It was so present. And it was only when I was at the bus stop, I was just like, I should have took a picture with them. Why didn't I take a picture with these guys? I love them. But it would have been all for the wrong reasons. It would have been to boast and to validate myself in a space where I was already validated. It threw me. I was on the bus like, wow, look at me. Look at me. Growing and shit. Because one of the things that my daughter hates the most is my fangirl behaviour. And I'll do it to anybody that I like, that I see. And sometimes I act like that with my kids. Oh, can I take a picture with you? My kids be looking at me like, leave me alone. And now that I see it, I'm like, it was almost like a rite of passage for me to feel like I was a part of, or I was important, when I've always been that. Last night before I went to sleep, I just said it out loud. I was like, I'm worthy of everything that I give out. I'm worthy of that. And I deserve that. And that comes back to the mother wound, where I will candidly say, you lot already know my back and forth with my mother. Like, I've not been quiet about it. And obviously I've introduced you to her. But then at the same time, as much as I respect her, it still is a work in progress. And it still is a very difficult dynamic between us. Do you see? And so even in my moment last night of realization, like, I am worthy of nurturing and loving and reciprocity and all of these things, because sometimes we can walk around very confidently. People think that we already like that, but yet there's an inner child that is really uncomfortable with even receiving that, because there's still that feeling of not feeling worthy. I had another test this week where this was for my 20-year-old self, where my 20-year-old self was faced with a situation where I could have actually really embarrassed myself and also hurt and upset somebody that I love, or I could feel what I was feeling and work with it for myself. So that's what I did. I felt what I was feeling, and to be honest, I didn't feel any type of way. It was like, I know I'm being a little bit cryptic, but it's not my, I don't want to expose the other person, but it was like they had something to tell me, some news to give me. I already knew, because I dreamt it. I already knew, but they had something to tell me. They held back for a while. When they finally told me, it even got even more complicated, because a package was sent to my home and it wasn't mine, and it opened up another dialogue. And when I realized what it was, it reminded my inner 20-year-old that I wasn't nurtured and loved in that way in my time with that person. And rather than be petty and talk through my scabs, I was really, really nonchalant. I was happy, or I was neutral. I was just like, okay, cool. After I finished the conversation, I was just like, I seriously sat down with myself and I was like, wow, how far have we come? How far have we come that we're not affected by practically anything? People can do, say, be how they want to be, and I'm not affected. Amazing. And I feel like that's what this whole year has been about. I'm telling you, every ex somebody, from boyfriends to lovers to colleagues to friends, shout out to Cheryl Holder, I saw this girl yesterday, Cheryl, from my secondary school. When I tell you that I have one friend from secondary school, and it's no shade, but it's just the reality of it. I just don't have any friends from secondary school at all. And I saw Cheryl, and my first initial thing to do was hug this girl. I've not seen her for 30 years. Easily not seen her for 30 years. Shout out to my Gen X's who are aging backwards and look exactly the same as they did 30 years ago. Because this girl didn't look no different. And she said the same about me. She was like, the only thing is you copy and pasted your face onto this child. But other than that, she was like, you look the same. And I was like, I was so happy to see her, but I didn't feel the need. This was another thing as well. Seeing a lot of people from my past, I've seen lots of them, like I said, colleagues, exes, all types of people from my past. And I have not felt the need to rekindle. Really lovely to see you. So great to see you. Yes. Not asking too much questions because I'm genuinely not interested. Just what it is. Hey, NFE. And just being able to just be loving and happy, but at the same time able to just keep it the fuck moving. And that's what it's been this whole November. That's what it's been. It's been so nice to see all these old faces, these old memories, remembering these older versions of myself through them, but being able to happily. So nice to see you. I ain't trying to get your number. I'm not trying to hook up with you on social media. I'm not trying to do none of the things. 22, I love it too much. I ain't trying to do none of the things. I'm just trying to be open. I'm just trying to be open to love, to receiving, but not being attached. And that's always, I think, has been my biggest problem, is my attachment issues. being a foster child. And it was really crazy the way that that it worked for me, because I was fostered, but I used to go home every weekend. And then, so I go home on a Friday, come home on a Friday, go back on a Sunday. So it was a constant distressing time for me. I'd be distressed to leave the foster home on a Friday evening because of my brothers and my sisters that were there. I loved them so much, including my foster mother. We was a family. I loved them, but then I really loved being with my mum and dad. And then Sunday would come and I would be distraught. When I say distraught, every Sunday to have to leave them. It was a constant. So imagine going through that from the age of 2 to the age of 7. And my attachment issues were, my G's. I'm even like, I feel to cry for my inner child, because it was so much for her. And I can't imagine what it was doing to my mother and also my foster brothers and sisters as well, because I was, when I say distressed, so my attachment issues have been so severe in pretty much all of my ships, all of the relationships that I've ever encountered. And so I bring it back to the collective as a 7-year. This year has been really important to observe, first of all, even yourself. Observe yourself in these different situations. Observe others in these situations, but not necessarily react. Be able to respond. Be response able. And this, as we are in the final month of this year, I'm like, crack that shit. Crack. You already know. And I cracked that shit. And I also realized that even though I lose contact with people, or I don't see people for a very long time, there's no love loss. It doesn't minimize how much of a member of this tribe that I am. And as a tribe member, my tribe is huge, it's global, it's so beautiful. And even if I don't remember the names of some of the people in my tribe, that there's still that. I even saw this guy the other day. I used to work, when I left university, one of my first jobs was working at the community mental health team, because my degree's in psychology. So I thought that I wanted to work in mental health. So just to put my toe in, I went to work as a receptionist in one of the teams, local teams as well. And so there was this guy, I don't remember his name, but I used to adore him. I used to feel so bad for him. He had schizophrenia, and I used to feel so awful for him, because he was handsome, he was funny, he was so sweet and kind. Oh my God. And I used to just be so, I was attached. Like, I couldn't pass him in the street without allowing him to drain me for 30-40 minutes on the side of the road, talking whatever kind of foolishness he wanted to talk to me, because of my attachment issues. Anyway, I saw him the other day and he recognized me, and I felt very strong to, I didn't even acknowledge him, because I knew what he was going to do. I knew that he would try me. I knew that. So I was like, I don't want to be tried today. I acknowledge him. I see him. I sent him love from my chest, and I just walked in the other direction, carried on walking. So again, the boundaries are set up. The boundaries have been set up in this year. And I come back again to the mother wound. Like, I'm not going to be one, I don't think I could ever cut my mother off. Never. I don't think I could personally do that, regardless of how hard done by I have felt over the years. I don't think I could do that. But what I have done is created solid boundaries that make sure that I am not put in harm's way when it comes to her way of being. And she might see this and be like, the fuck is this kid talking about? But I'm like, I know what that is for me, and I don't need to justify it to her, to anybody. I just need to protect my inner child. I need to make sure that my boundaries are set in place so that I can still love you, but I don't have to overstep that, and I won't let you overstep that. That's just what it's going to be. I feel like my child has done that as well with me as well. She has taught me how to do that in such a loving, beautiful way. And I feel like I share these experiences with you because you already know what it is. So, my G's, I don't want any of us to come out of 2023, this 7-year, feeling any type of way about anything or anybody, any of the choices that we have made, or any of the boundaries that we have set. I don't want nobody to feel no type of way about it, because I feel like finally, as a collective, we are healing as a collective, but in such a beautiful, healthy way. Do you remember in the beginning we were just cutting people off left, right and centre, fucking everybody off because we didn't want to deal? And then there was that realization that you can't fully be tested whether or not you are through that part of your process without you being triggered, without you having to face certain people and situations. And so for me, it really was a beautiful thing this year, having to face a majority of the people that I literally was just like, I don't fuck with you and I never will again. And being cool with them, being really cute with them. Thank you. How's the sound as well? Is it? Just let me know if it's too loud. I'll move the microphone down a little bit, small. But yeah, geez, that has got to be one of the most refreshing parts. It's like taking a nice cool shower on a hot day. So refreshing, so reviving, so revitalizing, knowing that I ain't got no animosity towards no one, really and truly. And for those that have, I'm not naive. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that there have not been energies and people that have had proper ill feeling towards me. I'm not gonna pretend. I used to think I don't have no enemies. Oh my God, me. I'm not gonna pretend that. I'm sure there are many that don't. First of all, don't even know me, that don't like me. But I don't care. And I wish you love all the time. I've definitely been in spaces where I've liked people and I don't even know the person. And really all that was jealousy. All that was they had something that I wanted and I couldn't get. Even if it was their energy that they didn't want to give to me. That's the truth of the matter. That's the maturity of the matter. So a lot of the time when you find yourself not liking people, really question and ask yourself, be honest with yourself as to why. What did they really do? If it's a matter of them being themselves and you not liking that, that really is not your business. It's got nothing to do with you. That doesn't even warrant you to have any bad feeling towards that person. I mean, the maturity. I'm really looking forward to stepping into this 8-year just like naked, free. Free from it all. Do you get me? On the world stage even. So much going on. So much going on, so much reason for divide, so much reason for hate, so much reason for dislike, and all of the things. I'm even seeing in our own community people turning on each other, and I'm like, the fuck is going on right here? I just be here, just maybe popcorn, just like, rah. What's happening here? Why are people turning on each other like this? And I feel like it's a collective purge, this collective purge that is really, really happening, whereby one of the most important things that we have learned, I feel, in this ascension process is not to judge people. You don't know people's stories. You don't know the layers of their situation. So therefore, we have the opportunity to just step back and observe and not really have an opinion. Even for those who are putting themselves out there to be judged, try not to. If somebody or something or is doing something, and I think I'm distinctively talking about celebrity at this moment, it's not our business. Like I've always said to you, these people are going to do what they do. They weren't thinking of you when they were doing it. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't know you. And they wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire. So it really and truly, for us to have such an invested opinion on other people is, at this point, a distraction. A very, very deep distraction that we have no business getting into. We know that the system is falling and crumbling, and that means all aspects of it. So as we see this happening, all we've got to do is just step to one side and make sure that the debris misses us. Miss you with it. You already know what you know. You've been knowing. And sometimes it can be very entertaining to see it come out that you weren't crazy and that you weren't chatting out your ass about certain things and people and things, but really and truly, it truly isn't your business. And for you to focus on what is, for you to focus on what you're doing, how you're going to be progressing, how you're going to be evolving, how you're going to be bringing yourself up and out of this very, very warped reality. It's got nothing to do with us. Hence why, it's because November was so loud, I felt like I just needed to be quiet. It was so loud, noisy. Anyway, God, I've been going on a bit. Because you know what happens when I don't see you lot for a while, innit? I just lose my mind, and then next thing you know, I'm talking for an hour. Haven't pulled no cards. Haven't talked about nothing. I mean, I know I've talked about Saturn, but you know what I'm saying, innit? So I'm sure you lot want some cards. I've got my suit for the day, and it is my first and last, and I can't do more than one. God damn. One of my favourite songs I play now. You know it's Friday, so we've got a soundtrack. Please, we declare victory, a victory over your life. That's all. Did you see the picture that I put up for my thumbnail? That was my first offering, I think, in the longest time. I think the last time I did an offering to Papa Legba was possibly last year. Maybe the end of the year before. I haven't given an offering to Papa Legba in a minute, and I woke up, or I went to sleep yesterday knowing that I had to do that. that I had to ask him to open up certain ways for me, to open up my relationship with my Orisha again, because I really felt like this 7 year was all about depending on oneself, one's own power. Talk about the higher self. I had this revelation. I mean, maybe it wasn't a revelation, but it was something that I was talking about maybe at the beginning of the break of my ankle, yeah, and I was talking about interstellar and how the them and the they that they referred to was actually versions of themselves from the future. And I was like, okay, so the higher self is the future. Your higher self is always trying to pull you into the best version of your future. And so to not consult the higher self and to resist where the higher self is pulling you, even if it's through something that is difficult, is probably the biggest injustice one can do for oneself. I also got my blood group. Hey SM. Also got my blood group for the longest time. For the first time, I've never known what my blood type is. I don't think I should. I mean, it's just certain information and it's my private information. But once I got my blood type, I then was able to see what I should and should not be eating. And I've been eating so much things that my blood doesn't like. So all this time I'm not to say detoxes ain't good, because they are. They're really, really great, and cleanses and stuff. But then going right ahead and it wasn't unhealthy stuff. It was things like I'm not supposed to eat mushrooms. I'm not supposed to eat certain fruits and vegetables. I'm not supposed to eat lentils. When I tell you I've been living on these things. So blackberries, I'm not supposed to eat them because of my blood type. So this is another thing that will be really, really important to get into for this new year. To find out what your blood type is and start to eat for it. And I'm telling you, I've just cut out mushrooms for this 1 week. And I tell you, I've got more vitality. I don't get up so tired. Just from the mushrooms. The way I love mushrooms, I'm telling you, I mean, if you lot are on my Patreon, you lot will see, like, the way I love a mushroom. The things that I can do with a mushroom. For meals and shit. Don't be eating them. Just 1 week. Not supposed to be eating no type of bread or gluten. For my blood type. The foods that I am supposed to be eating, what's the word? Intuitively, started eating mackerel again. Mostly because of the cat. Because I like to buy her she's just over there, she's fast asleep. I like to buy her like different varieties of fish. And so this particular week I bought mackerel. And when I opened it, I was like, the smell was so nice and familiar. I was like, let me get myself some mackerel and just mix that up in a little something, make a little something, you know. When I tell you, my body was so happy to have it. It even says that I should be eating lamb. I was like, oh God, the way I've missed lamb. The way I've missed lamb! But I won't be getting it from the supermarket. I'm definitely going to go farmer's market. If I can't get it from those places, I'm not eating it. Basically, how did I come about knowing what my blood type was? With the accident. When I went for physio, I've started physio now, thank you Jesus, because I really wasn't walking properly. Once I went for my first physio, my GP then sent me back some big document and it had that information on there. But you can ask your GP about your blood type. They've got that information. They should be able to give it to you. And once you found that out, then you can just Google your blood type, what to eat best for it, and you'll get pages and pages and pages and pages of what is good for you to eat. And so now that this 1 week I've been eating for my blood type, I haven't had the red meat yet. I just haven't gone there yet, man. I haven't eaten red meat for years. So it's been really, really daunting. But I love lamb. I love it. I can't wait to eat. I love a piece of it. I can't wait. I'm not going to lie. And they are cute and I do love them and stuff. But oh my God, I do love a bit of lamb. I ain't lying to you. So yeah, I'm going to definitely, as of next year, start eating for my blood group, for my blood type. And only, like, I'm supposed to only eat vegetables like broccoli. I'm not supposed to eat cauliflower. Sorry, can you believe that? I'm not supposed to eat cauliflower. There's so many things that was on this list and I was just like, yo, I'm not supposed to eat peanuts and peanut butter, according to my blood type. So my G's, you know, I share these experiences with you so that you guys can do your own research for yourselves and get to your optimum levels of health and who you are. And like I said, you know, I do feel like I've got more vitality. I'm not as tired. Probably got a lot to do with the smoking as well. I can only smoke 1 zoot a day. I have to really choose when I'm going to smoke it. Because if I smoke it too early and then feel like I can take a second one around 9, 10 o'clock, I'll be up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning trying to smoke this zoot. It's long. It's very long. It takes me about 5 hours to smoke 1 zoot anyway. I mean, I love it because, I mean, I get the best of both worlds. I don't have guilt for smoking anymore because I'm smoking 1 zoot a day with no tobacco. So I'm just so grateful. Honestly. Like, should we get to some cards now? Shall we? Like, I've got a range of cards here. I've even got Romance Angels because it's Venus Day. So let's get into prayer. Divine Mother and Father who live within us, hallowed be thy name. Our freedom come. Your will be done in us as it is within you. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses against ourselves and others, as we forgive those who trespass against us and themselves, through all lifetimes, timelines, misunderstandings, and levels of consciousness. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the absence of love. For we are the kingdom, we are the power. Divided we are weak, united we are victorious. And to you, the Almighty, we give all of the glory forever and ever. Duanete. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. So it is, and so it will be. Ashe. Ashe. I invite my ancestors, my guides, my angels, my Orisha, my guardians of the sea, air, earth, fire, and ether, into this space to assist me with any messages that you may have for the collective at this time. I also want to say one more thing, and I spoke about it last year. Remember when I went to go and see the Wakanda movie? I don't think I'm going to talk about the what do you call it, the I forgot the movie that I saw yesterday. I'm not going to talk about it because it's got everything to do with this celebrity thing, yeah. This Hunger Games. Hunger Games is based on real life. I watched a documentary about the Rothschilds, yeah, and they come up and how powerful they are across the world. Now, and then I saw something else that said that the Hunger Games was based off of games that the Rothschilds play within their estates, where they have children let loose out into the woods and they hunt them down like foxes. Even these fox hunts that we used to see and all these things there, some of the time they would be hunting people and children. So it's mainly children. So last year I talked about the Wakanda movie and I talked about Enki and Enlil. Remember when I said that I think it's upside down? I think that the Yahweh, trigger warning, I think that the Yahweh is what is considered to be the devil, and what is considered to be the devil, the Enki, is actually a positive energy. Now, it fucked me up last year, innit? Like, it had me crying in front of you lot about it, the whole thing, because I was all over the place with it. But it's becoming more and more apparent when we look at those, especially in the world of celebrity, in the world of, a lot of them wear the cross. A lot of them wear the cross. A lot of them thank I'd like to thank God for this wonderful opportunity and this wonderful award. But you lot are not godly. We can see that with the way that you move and how you love possessions and false idol each other and all of them thing there. We can see that, but y'all are always adorned in these crosses. And so I think more light is going to be shed on that before we get to the end of this year. In the next 4 weeks, we're going to see much more light shed on it. So by the time we come into this 8th year, the religions, especially the Abrahamic religions, will be, a lot of them, demolished. Remember I told you. So please be compassionate as you can be when you see people who are in despair and haven't yet learned to go within and speak to the God within them. Please, the compassion needs to be there, and also the boundaries need to be there also. This is not an opportunity to become self-righteous and I told you so types of vibes. It's not the time or the space. It's a very, very, very sensitive time for many who haven't yet been able to work with their own personal G-like energy and that of the whole of the mother and father entity that is spirit. So just a word to the wise. Now, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to take 2 more puffs of my zoot. I mean, I haven't been here an hour yet. I wanna spend some time with these cards. I was thinking about this song the other day, Rhythm Nation by Janet Jackson. I was like, she was really trying to tell us, like, our vibration. We are the children of the Rhythm Nation, but we are one vibration. It's our vibration that changes everything. She says, sing it for the babies, because we really got to keep doing that. Okay. Think about a man like Bob Marley. You never see Bob Marley pick up one award for nothing. He's one of the greatest. You never pick up one award. He probably was like, "Me not got them dirty ceremony there. I'm not going there." And if you notice as well, like the award ceremonies are really, really bringing in some very influential artists that are doing amazing things for themselves without the help of the academy or the industry in itself, and now they're bringing them in because they're seeing how influential they are. So just keep an eye on the hair color of a lot of, especially the women, but it happens to the men as well. Once they blonded them up, they're not the artists that you thought they once were. So just be aware of that. Anyway, boom. First, 8 of Cups is our first card out. 8 of Cups. Now, this is moving on. Is it? Am I lying? Let me think about the 8 of Cups in traditional tarot. In relation to what though? 8 of Cups. I need more. I've been doing this. Fuck. I've been doing this a lot. Pulling tarot first, and then really not really thinking about what it's in relation to. So, our 8 of Cups. This is like our emotional aspect of ourselves, right? And being an 8 as we're going into this 8th year, like I told you, I really feel like it's important for our emotional intelligence to be on top, to be really aware of where our emotions go and what provokes that. What provokes that? What upsets you? What delights you? What excites you? What inspires you? These things, like, and doing more of the positive things and less of the negative things. If there are still things, people, places, and things, people, places. Yeah, if there's still all of that going on that are still upsetting you, still triggering the motherfucking shit out of you, still bringing you to lows, pay attention also to people that make you feel high in the moment, but then soon after you're very flat and very low. Pay attention to those people. Those are master manipulators, and normally they're used to you allowing that type of energy to be drained from you. Also, Eight of Cups being a watery kind of thing. Think about, like I said, what you're pouring into, what's pouring into you. I wanna love and treat you. Oh gosh. Oh my days. Oh, so when I say bare cards fell on the floor. Right, boom. Let's get into it. Using the Art of Divination. Oh, definitely one of my favourite decks of the year. Or my favourite gifts of the year. Full stop. Alright, in relation to this Eight of Cups, pouring in creativity, create, minding your business and pouring into your own self, pouring into your own creativity, pouring into what is inspiring you right now, what is setting those cogs turning, those wheels burning on that rubber, like wagwan for you, wagwan for you. Are your thoughts even yours? Are you still over scrolling? Are you still over scrolling? It says here, I got the magic touch, the magic potion, and nothing powerful like words spoken. We declare a victory over your life. But what are you pouring into? What are you pouring into? What are you allowing yourself to be poured into also? You don't even understand. I started dancing again because, all right, I'm not walking 100%, but I can shake a foot now. I started crying because I was so moved, because I love to dance. And it's probably one of the things that I was taking for granted, that I do love to dance and I can move this body here in beautiful ways. I'm more of like an abstract dancer. Can't really do choreography. I want to do that. What's her name? You lot. On my mama, on my hood. I look good. I look fly. I look good. What's her name? Victoria Monet. Listen, that choreography for that video, so good, and I am so convinced I could do it all, but the way my ankle was set up, it just wasn't allowing it. But that is probably one of the things that I'm going to do. I'm absolutely, hey girl, hugs, my darling. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make it a priority to learn that choreography. I'm not really good at choreography. I love it though, and it's such a positive song. I hope the Grammys don't get her. Please God, I pray. Like, I know she would probably want to win and all those things, so I don't want to go against what she would want for herself, but she's such a great artist. I loved her from It's Your Motherfucking Moment. I loved her from then, you get me? So that's all, what, good 2-3 years ago, that tune. She's bad. No, but that on my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good. Hey, listen. My neighbours are sick of me just saying that line. I say it just randomly all the time. Sometimes I'll scream it from in here. Tune. I found a way for Miranda to be a much more practical piece, because she was just ridiculous. You get me? Pieces of her just dropping out all the time, and it was just ridiculous. But now, you get me? Alright, can we get an Andinkra to support this creativity pouring into energy that we're moving into this 8-year with? Thank you. And it says beauty, feminine qualities and care. It says the Dafour was a prized possession of Akan women used to comb and plait their hair. This symbol suggests qualities often assigned to females and general qualities such as looking one's best and good hygiene. And on this Venus day, this is definitely a reminder, but as a whole, as we move into this 8th year, I mean, it's a great time to reinvent yourself. I mean, we all know that Madonna's got to be one of the biggest Hollyweirds there is out there, but I must say, as a child in the 80s, I was absolutely influenced by this woman. How often she changed her look, how she never had the same look twice, and that's just been me. Like, I've been trying to, and I've been really thinking about, like, I've loved the whole wig era and all of those things. I enjoyed it so much, but it's time for a change, time for something, an even newer version of myself. Outside of the wigs, outside of the dots. What are we doing next? What are we doing next? What's going to be the signature look next? I'm excited. Okay. And so let's continue with these. Let's continue with a little bit of Romance Angels. Can you not hear the music though? It's just like I'm having a party by myself. God. Make the effort. See that burn on my finger? If you ever knew how I got it. It says, great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Who and what is inspiring you? Are you sure you're in love with who and what you say you're in love with, or is it just something you're used to? Is it something that is still exciting you, something that's still evolving you, or are you stunted from it? Are you hurting from it? So I'm not telling you to put your effort. I don't think these cards are telling you to put the effort into something that's done. But again, pour into... says great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Great love. So just be clear about what you're pouring into. Is it pouring back into you? Is it making the efforts with you? Just be clear about these things so that you don't end up depleting yourself and overexerting yourself into things that don't concern you. Yeah. What's the next card? One of the best female singers to come out of the UK, and hardly anybody has ever heard of her. Her name's Deborah Glasgow. She died in the 90s. Yeah, I think before my daughter was born. One of the most beautiful voices. You might know her from like Shabba Ranks, Mr. Loverman. That was her voice on that. Sick artist. Boom, we got the Four of Swords. Rest. We love rest. I love the Four of Swords because I'm telling you, there's so much energy harvesting going on. There's so many planetary shifts and solar flares and astronomical things going on. Hey, Lenexa! I'm so glad too. So much astronomical things, and saying astronomical, that's going to lead me to, but we're coming to it. This is the only one that I've got in my hand though, babes. They actually sold out, but I'm waiting for a new delivery on Wednesday, all right? All right, boom. So with that, feel no way to rest. That last full moon was a doozy. It just went. If my boxing instructor saw that, he would have just rolled his eyes and just been like, I just wasted my time with this girl. She's always going to be ghetto fighting. So yeah, that was a that's what that full moon was. What was that? So obviously you're going to be tired. Coming towards the end of the year, the days are darker. It's only daylight for a few hours a day, unless you're getting up at 6 in the morning to catch all of the light for the day. But I mean, come 3 o'clock, it's starting to get dark. Get me? So you are more tired. So again, what are you pouring into? Are you making sure that you have enough energy to do the things that bring you joy, bring you peace, bring you love, bring you prosperity? Like, what are you doing when you're not resting? What are you doing when you're not resting? Are you getting enough rest? Are you going to bed at a good hour? Are you making sure that your body's not over exerting itself by having to digest or sober you up before it can actually get into a theta state and into a deep sleep? I'm going to say Marcy is so unbothered with my life right now. She's been really clingy as well. Oh my God. She's been so clingy. It's been so irritating. Truth. Truth. It's your next card. We water the roots, we bore fruit. We've been knowing the truth since we were youths. It's the innocence as well. You know, when you're resting, I mean, I don't care what anybody says to me. My bed is literally like the womb for me. It's one of the most comfortable, warmest, most nurturing spaces. Hence why I'm very particular about who I share that space with. And for this past over a year, I'm not sharing that with a motherfucker. Nobody's welcome in my bed, in my space. So this is where, you know, some of the most exciting things happen in the sleep state. The traveling of moving through the realms and grabbing nuggets and of information and, you know, seeing yourself in different ways. Have you ever had a dream that you're not you? Listen, one time, like I got this friend, yeah, and he says to me, yeah, I had this dream and I was a white man. And I was like, oh my God, I've never dreamt and been me and not me. And then after he said that, maybe a couple of years after he said that, I dreamt that I was somebody else. I wasn't black or white. I wasn't me, but it was me. I was like, oh, yo. And again, we talked about the different versions of ourselves in this reality, that you're me and I'm you. We're not separate. We're just different versions of the same self. So there is no room for hate. There is no room for discrimination. There is no room for judgment, because you're just judging yourself, especially those closest to you. And you know that as a truth. I ain't trying to indoctrinate you. If you don't know that as a truth, you don't know that as a truth. But fundamentally, I know that as a truth, personally. And so therefore, it's very, very difficult for me to be bamboozled, or to be deceived, or to have my energy harvested and used for things against my will. That's not happening. And dinkra. So it says, water your roots, pour into yourselves, yo. Pour into yourselves. And even if that means that you're just resting more, pour into yourselves. You can't be jumping. So we've got 2. We've got safety, security, and love. This comes with the truth. It says, the home to the Akan is a special place, a home with a fence provided security and protection. And again, your rest space, the place where you rest, the place where you lay your head, should be a sanctuary. It shouldn't be an invitation to all and sundry. Do you get? It shouldn't be. This should be a very sacred space. And also, your vessel should be the ultimate sacred space. It shouldn't be just shared and passed around any and anyone. So for those of you that have really been upholding celibacy in this 7 year, cheers, well done. It's not been easy. It's getting more difficult. It's getting more difficult, I ain't gonna lie to you. But the prospect of sharing my vessel and my bed and my space and my sanctuary with somebody that is not worthy is not worth it. Not to me. And we know that fundamentally. Loneliness don't touch me again. It shouldn't touch any of you again, because we already spoke about that right at the beginning of this video, where you are a part of a massive network, and it might not feel like it, you know, but again, have you made yourself worthy to receive that reality? Because as soon as you open yourself up to it, it can't miss you. It is for you. You're part of it, and it's part of you. So you're not missing anything, and the loneliness shouldn't allow you to devalue yourself and put yourself in a situation where you've soiled your space with the energy of somebody that doesn't value you. You know that as a truth now. And then, so we talk about safety, security, and love. And then we've got adaptability. Says, the crocodile lives in the water yet can breathe on land, demonstrating an ability to adapt to circumstances. And we've adapted beautifully. We have adapted beautifully to this surrender year. This year of surrender, where we have definitely allowed ourselves to be led and guided from a higher vibrational force than our own lower vibrational, egotistical energies that we once used to be led by. This hair is getting on my nose. I needed 2 hands. Do you get me? You're not quiet. Say something. Say something. To express your love. Make the effort. Express your love. Express your love. But go ahead and make the romantic gestures. Now, like I said, if it's a worthy energy, go right ahead and do that. What are you holding back for? What are you afraid of? Ebitoni, Ebinati, girl. The way that I can get names wrong is so bad. Hey, girl. If you know that it's going to pour back into you, if it's going to reciprocate, girl, don't feel no way. We just talked about rest and how important it is right now. Girl, feel no way. Yeah. If it's a worthy expression, go right ahead. Like those that I do love, ooh, I'll be loving on them hard, and they'll be loving on me right back. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful exchange. Remember, like I said at the beginning of this video, when I was trying to comfort this sister of mine, and she ended up like holding me like her child in her bosom, not knowing that that's exactly what I needed. Girl. So this the reciprocation of the love that you're giving is really the telltale sign as to whether you're pouring in to the right places or not. And that goes across the board. It doesn't matter if it's blood relatives or new friends. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's reciprocated, go in. If it's not, set the boundary. Pull your energy back and set the boundary. Not easy, but necessary. Necessary. And we've still got 4 weeks to really get it down to a fine art. We've had all year to practice. And now it's going into 2024, making sure that you're not going to start a completely new cycle of bullshit because you couldn't set a boundary, or you couldn't stop somebody from drawing on your energy without reciprocating that. That's on you. We've got the Knight of Cups, more emotions, more. This is an offer, isn't it? This is somebody coming to reciprocate. This is reciprocation. This is the reciprocation card. This is what I'm going to call the reciprocation card. And the cup, look, is stable. It's not even in the hand of the jumping horse, because the horse is excited. Horse is excited. The focus is on controlling this horse and keeping balance with this horse, with the lotus. This person who's offering, these people that are offering this love may have had to learn it themselves. They may have had to come out the dirt holding this lotus. They may have had to come out the dirt with themselves. They may not have experienced that as children or growing up or in their environments, but they've had to learn it. And now they're feeling comfortable enough to come and, once they get off the horse, offer that to you too. Reciprocation. Oh, I like that. Wild horses can't drag you away. I love that. But do you see? They're focused on what they're doing, their balance and everything else. But once they jump down, they're emotionally balanced as well. This is not in their hand going all over the place. In traditional tarot, you know that it's a slow moving, but this horse is going for it. So he's charging ahead. He's even looking worried. Look at the face. Even looking worried, like, goddamn. But this one here is looking kind of confident. Like, come on, man, we're good. We got this. We got this. Like, I've got control. Do you get me? Got a good stance. But my emotions are together also. It's a theme, Ebitone. It's a theme, my darling. Let's see what area this reciprocation is likely to come from first for the collective. Because it might not come in some of the areas that you might expect. It might come through a work situation. It might come from a complete stranger at a road. You just don't know. You don't know, but it's being open. Being open, because I feel like there's been a time when we have set boundaries, we've also blocked ourselves from receiving anything else, because we're so afraid of our boundaries being trampled over or disrespected that we've been hesitant to be open-hearted and minded when it comes to receiving. It says here, perseverance. Don't be scared. Don't be closed. There's a route. There's a flow. Don't say what you can or can't do when you don't know. I feel like there's just going to be a lot of opportunities for very deep and meaningful connections in this coming new year. And although it's not the real new year, but you know what I mean, in this change of numerical year into this 8th year. I just feel like there's going to be so many opportunities to really connect on deep levels with people, with your tribe, with your community. And because you have in the past not been able to set boundaries, you may miss these opportunities. So I just feel like, you know, just make sure that you yourself are balanced. Your emotional maturity is, you know, being practiced, persevered, practice, you know, practice makes a really lovely bed. Not perfect. I make my bed every day. It's never perfect. But it's every day I make the bed. Every day I do the thing. Every day I exercise my emotional intelligence. Told you that at the beginning of the year, beginning of the video, and this whole year has been about that. Your emotional intelligence and how you react, respond. How are you able? Are you able to respond? Or are you just reacting to everything? Are you just being triggered and carrying on mad for everything? And you have to know as well, you know yourself well enough to know that when random people decide to push your buttons, you have to know that that's a test. You don't even know me. The fuck are you doing? So rather than engage and give you any of my energy, I'm just going to pull back. And this happened to me last week at the laundrette. Chick was going on mad, yeah. She, for no reason, she was like, "Oh, you need to take your things out the dryer." All right, fair enough. I'm using all 3 of the available dryers just to get my shit dry quick enough. But because I'm using all 3, I'm only using them for 20 minutes at a time, and that's it. And by the 3rd, 4th minute, as I'm coming to an end, she's asking me, can I remove my stuff? Am I using them all? She wanted to carry on mad. Anyway, next thing I knew, there was a back and forth, and then I stopped myself. I was like, oh, I'm not fucking engaging with this woman. Like, she can see I'm taking my stuff out of the dryers. I'm not going to say anything to her. And then this Spanish guy that was in there, kind of cute too, that was in the laundrette with me, just took over the argument. I just let him. I thanked him, said thank you, and he just carried on backing and forth with this woman while I carried on minding my business. I enjoy going to the laundrette because it gets me out the house. Yeah, I really do enjoy it. And I love washing a huge amount of clothes at once. And then when I saw Andre 3000 likes to go to the laundrette as well, that's where he likes to play his flute and ting. Yeah, I was like, I mean, this could have been, if I was in the right country at the right time, me and Andre, I mean, we would have been laundrette brethrens. For real. So, anyway, don't give people your energy. If you can see that they're just testing you. They're just testing you to see how you're going to move. And it's not them. They're used as vessels. Remember that. Don't bite it. Don't give your energy unnecessarily. But at the same time, you know, be open enough to receive these messages. Be gracious enough to see how well you're doing in these tests. In the moment. Just be like, oh my God, I just stopped talking. I could have bust this bitch's head open clean under here. There could have been blood. You don't know. But I chose not to. I just chose to just remove myself completely to the point where she was just talking to herself. How ridiculous is that? Okay, perseverance with the Knight of Cups comes greatness. Obviously, says symbol of greatness, charisma, leadership as it inspires other symbols. Obviously, emotional intelligence brings greatness, not only to you, but everybody involved. And then we've got democracy, shared destiny, interconnectedness. That's what I told you right at the beginning. We're getting ready for this thing, yeah. Siamese crocodiles share one stomach yet fight over food. This symbol is a reminder in fighting and tribalism is harmful to be... This symbol is a reminder infighting and tribalism is harmful and to be avoided. Fighting within tribalism is harmful and to be avoided. You can't fight with yourself. I can't argue with that bitch was just being an old version of me. I could be, listen, the most antagonistic person you would ever meet in your life. That you would want to punch me in my mouth. That was just an old version of myself. And I was like, I don't even engage in that again. That's not, no. Let me remove myself. Fighting within tribalism. You can't be fighting yourself. You can't beat yourself up over lower versions of yourself or younger versions of yourself, should I say. Because maturity is truly a thing. And there's no age to it. Maturity comes when it comes. It doesn't come to everybody. It's like common sense. It's not common. So maturity doesn't come to us all. But for those of us that are wanting it and praying for it, it comes. Like this emotional intelligence. Like this maturity in setting boundaries. Comes. Like this maturity in not leaking your energy to everybody and anybody who prods at you. That includes in the ethers. Because they'll be doing it in the ethers too. Oh my God. It's not giving your energy. Protecting it. What am I doing? Wrong card. I'm going to come off soon. It's already done. Separation. Understanding that you're not separate from anybody. It says this part, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. But that card's rubbish. I might rip it up and throw it in a bin. Because separation is really a ridiculous concept. You're not separate from no one. Something happened with one of my kids over the November month. I woke up out of my sleep. Because I knew something weren't right. 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. Started praying. Immediately over this child. Immediately. Inquiring, getting no response. But a week later, getting the truth. Like, yeah, this was what was happening. It's like, raw. I felt that. Separation is an illusion. A complete illusion. Especially if you can watch a random something, like a movie, and feel the emotion. And especially, I love watching a movie based on a true story. I love watching a movie based on a true story. And I watched one called A Journal for Jordan. I think that's what it was called. A Journal for Jordan. It's on Netflix. My G, the way I was bawling in this movie. But I've never experienced anything like it in my life. I have no concept of that. But I felt it because that's me and them and me. You get me? That's actually somebody's story. That's somebody's experience. And I was like, there's no separation between us. We just experience different things, and if we're brave enough to tell our stories, then we can resonate and relate with one another. Do you get me? That's why I'm always going on about what you lot's contribution is. What's your contribution? How do you inspire? What inspires you? I don't stop. I will not stop with that. I think I'm coming towards the end now. I'm going to pull some Moonology. Pull some Moonology. Talk about bravery. If we're brave enough to do it, your contribution. I have something to show you lot. Right, boom. A new romantic cycle begins, and the romance angels are backing that. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. Balance, more balance. And 8 is another balance, because 7's an uneven number, isn't it? So it's gonna be in balance. It's gonna be rocky. But 8 is not only a even number, but it's also the infinity sign. So what is this cycle bringing in for you, and what have you brought in for yours? Not what is this cycle bringing in for you. What are you bring? What is this? What have you brought in for this cycle? What have you decided on for this cycle for yourself? It's been up to you this whole time, but also, if we choose to run with our egos and not our higher selves, then that's the next thing. That's why this year has been all about surrender. Listening to your higher self, listening to spirit. Could be one in the same. Ain't it? Should we read it though? As our final card for this video. Bit of a long one, but you know what happens. Like I said, if I'm away for too long, I'm going to be on here for a minute. Shit. New moon in Libra. New moon in Libra. A new romantic cycle begins, and it's perfect on Venus Day. Give and take could well be the answer to whatever dilemma you're asking about. Compromise may be called for. It's time to start negotiating or even renegotiating. When the new moon in Libra comes up, there's a restart for you and for someone else. A new relationship could be beginning. And if that's the case, the chances are that this will be a healthy and well-balanced connection. Well, of course it will be, because emotional intelligence is involved. In anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in business or in your personal life. Libra in the sign of regulating, and this card suggests that whoever is at the heart of the issue you're addressing is someone who will be open to talking things through. Avoid being selfish. It won't get you anywhere at this time. You heard? Khalifa and Ken! No, man, because you've been busy making sick music. Have you not seen Khalifa and Ken's new video? Listen, my G's, I'm just so excited for y'all and your contributions and what you're giving. I am. Attune to the moon. Reach out to someone and let them know you care. Additional meaning for this card. Feel more, think less. Marriage or engagement is on the cards. A legal matter will go your way. Pay any attention to your experiences, but don't be all about appearances. My pleasure, Khalifa and Ken. You know, I loved about the video the most. I mean, it was a great video. I love the beginning because I love an intro. I love an intro and I love a story. I love that your video told a story. I love that too, because it's like 50% of the song is the visual for me. And then at the end, it was how you brought us into a new song at the end. I love that. That is so old school and so needed. Let me just... I've got no flowers around me, but I just want to give you your flowers. That was sick. Very well done. Continue. Keep going. Anyway, the teaching. Libra is the sign of love and harmony, negotiation and relationships. It is harmonious, kind and luxurious, and always aiming for balance. So when we have the new moon in Libra, or at any time you draw this card, of course it's only going to get better. Anytime we draw this card, there is a restart possible for anything and everything connected to partnerships, negotiations, appearances, and justice. Remember, I told you lot, reinvent. What are you thinking about reinventing yourself? I am thinking about going for a much more sleeker look. You know what I mean? Like yesterday when I went to dinner, I actually wore clothes that I would never really wear. Like I wore a pencil skirt. I wore like you lot Americans call it a vest. We call it a waistcoat with a shirt buttoned up. Like I looked like I was going to a 9-to-5 meeting, but I felt sleeker. That's going to be my new look. I feel like I'm going to be a lot more sleeker. So reinvention is a theme for this coming 8 years. So be inspired. Do yourself a little lookbook. Do yourself a little vision board of, you know, new. I mean, it sounds superficial, but listen, it really has everything to do with how you present yourself on the outside is how you feel on the inside. That's why I was really glad that I didn't go outside looking grubby yesterday. I could have. I was only going Peckham. You know what I mean? I could have. You know what I mean? Just chucked on a tracksuit and some kicks and just gone out a road. But I really didn't. I made such an effort. The amount of people that I bumped into that I knew. And I felt luxurious. I felt luxurious. Anyway, pay attention to your appearances, but don't be all about appearances. The teaching, Libra is the sign of love. I read all of that, haven't I? Remember that Libra is depicted by a set of scales. This energy wants to bring things back into equilibrium. This 8 energy that we're moving into wants to bring things back into balance. So no matter how imbalanced things have been in this 7 year, did you die though? Did you die though? You should give it a honestly, because it's been ruthless. Been ruthless and relentless this year. But we give thanks because it was absolutely for our highest, greatest good. Now, talking of partnerships and collaborations and all of the things, this is me and Biggs. Me and Biggs made something. We made a calendar together. Our first thing that we made together, ego death was a whole theme, the whole of this 7 year. Yeah, I made a thing with one of my best friends. Me and Biggs haven't made something for a very long time. Now, a lot of people are like, astronomical or astrological. The reason I called it an astronomical calendar was because some of the events like portals and equinoxes and even solstices are not solstices, but portals, meteor showers, those types of things. They're not astrological, they're astronomical. They're something that can be observed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's an astronomical calendar, because I put everything in there. I'm going to show you. Right, hold on. And it's really good quality as well. It's lovely and it hangs lovely. I had a calendar this year. I don't want to bash the calendar, but it didn't have this, so it had like holes and they kept ripping. So the pages kept falling down. So I didn't want something like that. So we've got old school like this. I'm showing you out. Look. So this is January, and the reason as well, we've got everything in here. So we've got obviously all of the dates of all of the portals. We've got, this one says Mercury stations direct, which is important to know when the retrogrades are and when they are ending. This is going to help us to one step ahead of the game. You get me? Like when we know that, there's a retrograde coming up, you're just going to know what to do and what not to do. And it's not just Mercury. I've got Pluto in here, I've got Saturn, I've got all of the retrogrades in here. Not only that, I've got some affirmations that we can say. This one is, I create my reality through my thoughts, words and deeds. And we've got the birthstone of January, which is Garnet. I've also got both of the star signs that come in January, Capricorn and Aquarius, their ruling planets, and the name of the full moon. And you know why this is such a big deal to me? Because let me tell you something. This was last year's idea. I had this idea last year, and the way I procrastinated Nah, the way I procrastinated, because the imposter syndrome sometimes gets the better of me, and I just didn't get it done in time. So Biggs doesn't let me forget my life. Biggs is always like, so what are we doing about this then? You started it, are we going to finish it? Like, Biggs don't play with me. So this is why it's important to have partnerships and accountability partners, people that will help you to do the things that you want to do. This is February with amethyst. I think this is my favourite because purple is one of my favourite colours. And then we've got the amethyst. The affirmation for this is, I am love, so I attract love. And I did that affirmation because it is that Valentine's month. And people do feel anxious around this time of the month. So I wanted y'all to have something to say that will bring love to you, from you. Do you get me? And not be looking on the outside for it. We've got all of these zodiac signs in order. I wish I'd highlighted them. So you know, like as each of the zodiac signs comes about, like they'd be highlighted across. I wish I'd done that. I might do that for next year for sure. But then again, you know, you've got all of the significant and important dates that are going to be coming up with the portals, the new moon, the full moon. That's all in here. And obviously, there's space for you to put your own personal things in as well. And then we've got I'm going to have to screen record this. And then we've got March, which is the new year. Did I put that in here? I did. I put spring, new year. I put spring, new year. So I've even got the date of the new year in here, of the actual new year, not the Gregorian new year. We've got some portals, the new moons, the full moons, and then it's got regular stuff that you'd find in the calendar where they're going to be playing around with the clocks again. And then you've got things like St. Patrick's Day, which I don't know anything about, St. David's Day, and all these things. So it just goes on, it just continues like this. Same thing, it's got all of the zodiac signs at the top that relate to March, and the birthstones of each month, which you can also purchase these what do you call it, these crystals to help you work through each month as well. So this is more for you to kind of get hip to, you know, the astronomical events of the world, so that you ain't gonna need, say, like these things lock off, like we've been saying, like YouTube and all of these things lock off, and the next thing you know, you don't have access, but you're gonna know these things. April. Oh, sorry, it's because maybe anybody else having problems with the sound, let me know, because this thing's a little bit temperamental, and I have been on for a long time. April, I think this is the last month I'm going to show you because it's my month. And we diamonds are forever, girl. So that's the astronomical calendar. I'm sorry, I'm going to come off now anyway. Astronomical calendar, which is available again because I sold out the first batch. Thank you, guys. So this is going to be available again on Wednesday. I think that's when I get them in. I'm also going to create some type of sale as well on... Thank you for letting me know, but I'm going to come off now. Or should I just pull out the mic and just talk to you? Like, let's try that. How's that? Because I'm coming off now anyway. So yeah, I'm going to create some sale items on the website. I've got some new sage sticks that I've made with eucalyptus. Because of these ascension symptoms were mad in me, and breathing was a myth. So I thought, let me just add a little bit of eucalyptus. Thank you, Ever Tony. So yeah, they're available from the website as of Wednesday. So please do check it out. But obviously, you know, I'm going to give you a reminder. And then, like I said, I'm going to have a few items on sale, probably including a few readings. A couple of the readings I might have on sale as well. Coming towards the end of book club on... What happened? Coming towards the end of book club on Patreon. Got like three more episodes left, 3 more installments, and then we're done. We read the whole of Women Who Run with the Wolves. My G's. You can actually go on my Patreon and have a free trial. So you can have a free trial. You could just go on. I don't know how it works exactly, but I see a few people have come on to do the free trial. So you can go on and have a look. It's like Netflix in there. So many videos. I was doing like 9 videos a week. So there's just so many different things in there. And that's it. If you want personal readings, get at me, innit? And I can't tell you when I'll be back, but I'll try and be back for the next portal, which is on the 12th. And between now and then, I wish you the best of everything. The best of everything. The highest vibrational outcome for everything that you put your mind to. I wish for you that it's the biggest success. I pray that you find the right people to work with and to collaborate with and to partner up with. I pray balance over all of the things that you do. I pray healing in the mother wound. And most importantly, I love you lot, man. I missed you bad. And I'll see you soon. All right, my G's. I love y'all. Bye-bye.